Welcome to the Fox Den Podcast, where leaders gather to grow.
Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on another episode of the Fox Den. It's really a place where leaders gather to grow. And if you want to know more, you can always reach out and find me at foxpoint.net. I'm excited today. We've got Terrence Sykes with us, and Terrence and I have known each other. What has it been, Terrence? 35
Oh,
years? We're not that old.
yes. We met when we were 12.
Yeah, been a long time. And Terrence, has been a leader for a long time. He was a student body president when we were at ISU together and has held a variety of positions in nonprofits and doing development work and has had a great career as made it up to C-suite executives for some very large associations and organizations. He's got a family, and we're just going to chat a little bit today about what's going on in the world of leadership and helping people grow. So thanks, Terrence, for being with us today.
My pleasure. Leadership's a big thing.
It absolutely is. And well, let's kind of just start out with, especially over the last maybe decade or so, you've been all over the world. I mean, I don't even know how many countries have you been to in the last 10 years?
Oh, I've hit. It's interesting. All through Europe, I've gone. So whether it's from a small country like Antwerp to the large ones in Berlin, so it's been a lot of fun growing and learning all over the world.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that as I travel, right, and I speak, I find you get there to an organization or at a conference, and the people seem to always feel like their challenges are so huge and so unique.
Yeah.
Yet when you start to travel like you have done, you start to realize like the commonalities of some of the challenges and things that leaders need to help grow their organizations and grow their people. Talk a little bit about, even though it's a different culture and maybe a different language and a completely different organization, what are you seeing out there that regardless of where somebody that is watching or listening to us today, what are you seeing that it's like, hey, we all need to do A, B, C with our people and ourselves?
Yeah, great question. One of the places that I really start, and that's belief. Believe it or not, I run across so many people who they don't believe. They don't believe, and that lack of confidence. And that's one of the beauties, at least for me, is my confidence doesn't come from myself, right? And I think that's one of the big problems is people see their confidence in themselves, and I think that's and recently has really hit me hearing some of the things, some of the messages that I've heard. When you think of folks dropping dead from not acknowledging, Christ in what they were doing. And I think that's a really big thing that I've seen, and it's really impacted me recently is understanding and acknowledging the Lord in everything that I'm doing.
Yeah, that's so great. And certainly there are people that are, they're on the, a different side of the fence, or they're leaning on the fence in that. But the reality of it is like, what do we stand on when things get challenging? And what's the opportunity that we have to see that, and we've talked about it before, you and I, right? We all are gifted in different ways. And it not that we want to make the entire conversation about comparison, but it can be a trap wherever you may be in the world when you start looking at what other people have or what you expect that you should be able to do, instead of, like you said, just believing in what have I been given? What's the gift? What's my natural passion? And how do I come to work each day? Or how do I help my family each day by literally just leaning into the best version of myself and trying to stop being somebody else?
Yeah, I've always told my teams that I've had the opportunity to lead is, you know, I want them to grow professionally. I want them to grow personally. And honestly, I want them to grow spiritually. I mean, there are folks that I have led that would not call themselves Christians, and there are some that have. And you place no judgment on them, and you show them sort of that light. You want to and need to be a light. And that's the other piece that I think is important for people to be attracted to that, for people to desire that. And so that belief allows you to be that light, which allows you to, when you touch someone, you're sort of extending that spirit to them as opposed to, being very closed off and what have you. That doesn't help. That doesn't show forth what I believe I need to be. So it's something that I think is at the cornerstone of a lot of things that are happening right now in the workplace and leadership, and what people are missing, what people are seeking. And now we're in a time where people are staying home more. We have more hybrid, so it's less even seeing people in a way that you can touch them. So it's very different.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you're right. So you take that combination of maybe being disconnected, if you will, like in presence with people, and maybe this lack of belief in who they are, and it kind of goes back to what you were just saying. So helping a leader's role, as you're saying, is to be a light. It is to help people grow. And I like how you had multiple pieces to it. I think a lot of times we really get compartmentalized. Well, I'm at work and I'm supposed to be focused on the task. And it's like, wait a second, you're still the same person that is at your home, whatever your
Mhm.
family life may look like. We are not different people when we show up. And so I love how you said, I want to help people grow professionally and individually, like personally.
Mhm.
What are some of the things that you've done over the last, couple of decades to help people obviously grow as leaders and grow in their profession, but how have you invested in them to grow them as people at the same time? Because it seems to me like you really are starting with the person to then create better outcomes and results, not just focused on the numbers or focused on some metric or the task at hand, but you're really trying to lead by focusing on that person in front of you. Talk a little bit about how that actually plays out.
Yeah, one of the things that I try to make known to my team is there's that strategic plan and the operational plan that we have to follow and we have to hit. We all know the numbers. I'm not going to hit you over the head with those. I'm expecting you to know them. What I do want to talk about is your values, and I do ask them don't check your values at the door. Okay, I want you to bring those in, and I want you to take them with you back and forth. Just to your point, I think it's so important for us to be who we are. Then we talk about what they believe their gifts are. So from the person who's doing marketing to the person who's doing membership, I want to know what their gift is and how they see it playing a role. And you start to help people see themselves
Yeah.
in a way that they don't. They typically, I want to know about your family. I want to understand, what's motivating you, what's behind some of the things that you're dealing with. When my team members are facing adversity, I let them know that I'll be praying for them. We start all of our meetings out with positive, because I believe you got to set the tone for your meeting to bring something positive. So we talk about a mission moment or a value moment, and that's how I start all of my meetings. And in those messages, allowing people to bring a message of hope, of team, of discipline, all those things that are important to us in our walk. I allow them to bring that in. And it may not be from a Christian focus that they're bringing it, but then I'm able to wrap it in a way
Yeah.
that does get them into a different mindset.
Yeah, that's really good. And really what I'm hearing you say is, and I believe the same thing, is that people are coming to work and they want to make a difference. They want to have value. They don't want to just check a box and do a job. Most people really don't just want a paycheck. They really want to contribute. And and you're right. I think what happens is there's too many organizations, too many leaders that are so focused on the outcomes. Like you said, we are not ignoring
Right.
bottom line. As I always say, the bottom line's different, right? When you're in a school, the bottom line looks different than if you're in a profit organization or a nonprofit. But when I say the bottom line, it's what are you providing? What are your outcomes? What are the goals, the objectives of the team, the organization? Those absolutely matter. They are critical. But what matters more is how we get there. And how we get there is people first, right? It's
Yes.
the people matter most. And a lot of people say it, but I love how you're really practical. Like, no, we're going to do this like in the meetings. We're going to talk about what's a win, something that's a great experience that just happened, maybe with a and obviously this conversation can go across a variety of things. A teacher can say, I just had an amazing experience with the family today, or we
Mhm.
have a client that has a great experience, or a customer in the retail space. When we take the time to like breathe a little bit and get outside of the view of the task at hand and start to see the people around us and the value that they want to bring, like you said, it starts to wrap the conversation differently. The mindset's now different. And suddenly you have a team that's performing at a high level
Yes.
and the strategic plan happens. Isn't it amazing how that like just it clicks when you have
It
that kind of
does.
chemistry happening?
And that's what, I've been really fortunate, blessed to be able to be in an opportunity where we start with that mission value moment, then we go on to I want to hear a success, and then we go into employee headlines because I want to know about your team too, and I'm encouraging them to see good things and to pull things, and let's talk about it. Then we get to our dashboard, and so I really think that has made a big difference, Randy. And I've, I take pride in my last, you know, presentation of them, I think Boss's Day or something of that nature. And they gave me this statue that was a goat, and it said "goat" on it, and they just talk about how meaningful it's been, our engagement, the leadership, the work stuff has been great, but that's meant a lot to me.
Yeah. Well, because at the end of the day, I've seen a lot of people, and as we get a little more experienced in life, right? We're not there yet. We're still making impacts, but I've seen a lot of people that have retired.
Yes,
And I live in Central Florida. I live near the largest retirement, area anywhere in the world. And
yes.
so I'm around a lot of people that are retired, and in our church we have, and it's amazing. I'm watching people in their 80s, in the fourth quarter of their life, like they don't have very much time left, and they are working, they are serving, they
Mhm.
are connected, and it really shows that, right, their identity, their purpose wasn't just in their work. There was real value in making an impact no matter where they were, no matter who they're around. And that's what you're talking about when people see you as more than just the numbers or the results, and they see you as somebody that one of the things that I do often when I speak is I have conversations about leadership, and I ask people to close their eyes and picture the two people that influence their life the most.
Mhm.
And then I ask them to share that with a small group, and then we share a few of them with the larger group. And it really awakens people to this idea, like you're saying, that when we are leaders that are focused on others and we start seeing that influence, it's like, wow, it's more than just a job. It becomes life impacting, that people will tell stories and they will talk about people that they met 40 years ago, somebody that passed away 20 years ago, and they still are holding on to, as you've been saying this whole time, really foundational principles of character that helped them develop the person that they now are today. And that's really what you really talked about here today is how are we doing as leaders to invest in character development so that the team grows to execute. And I think it's really awesome to hear a guy that's been in the C-suite for a long time like you have. It's really refreshing because we don't hear enough of that. I'm not trying to be negative, but we don't hear enough of that from C-suite executives because it's unfortunately very cutthroat. It's very, we're going to lay off 10% of our workforce to make more money. We are right. And that's what we're seeing in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm really thrilled that you joined us today to offer some different perspectives that not only work, but they change and help people grow. And that's really what it's all about.
Yes, people need to, they need that support in a way that, I've been able to, someone passed it on to me to be able to, you're doing it every time you go out and speak. And I do think people are hungry for it. That I do believe.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And so since they're hungry and to kind of wrap things up, if anybody ever wanted to get in touch with you, Terrence, what would be a simple way that they can reach out to you if they wanted to chat or get connected?
Yeah, they certainly can find me on LinkedIn. My profile is open for all to see. And certainly they can email me. I love to be able to connect. That's tdsykes1@icloud.com. So it's been a pleasure, and I'm so fortunate to really have had a relationship with you and our what we've been able to exchange here, but throughout life, I've really appreciated it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we hope that you all have picked up a few nuggets from us today. And please reach out to Terrence, or you can connect with me at foxpoint.net, and we will catch you the next time. Come grow with us, gather with us here at the Fox Den. Have a great day, everybody. We will see you real soon.
Visit us at foxpoint.net and StephenAllenFox.com.